I work at an architecture firm in Portland, Oregon, and 6 months ago, I was 3 months away from marrying the woman I had loved for 6 years. Her name was Emily. We had booked the venue, sent invitations to over 100 guests, and I was counting down the days until I could call her my wife. Then one Friday evening, over dinner at our favorite Italian restaurant, she asked for something I never expected: 3 weeks in Europe with her college friends. I said yes, thinking I was being supportive. I never imagined that saying yes to her trip would mean saying goodbye to everything we had built together. Before I dive into what happened next, I would love to know, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments below. If you have ever trusted someone completely, only to have that trust tested, hit that like button. I said yes, thinking I was being supportive. I never imagined that saying yes to her trip would mean saying goodbye to everything we had built together. Before I dive into what happened next, I would love to know, where are you watching from? Drop your city in the comments below. If you have ever trusted someone completely, only to have that trust tested, hit that like button. She had been quiet all evening, pushing her fettuccine around her plate instead of eating it. I could tell something was on her mind. Finally, she put down her fork and looked at me with those green eyes that had first caught my attention in college. "Abraham, I need to talk to you about something," she said. Her voice had this nervous edge I had not heard in years. "What is it?" I asked, reaching across the table to take her hand. She took a deep breath. "You know Jessica, Lauren, and Stephanie from college," I nodded. I had met her 3 best friends from university plenty of times. Jessica worked in finance in New York. Lauren was a lawyer in Chicago, and Stephanie taught high school in Seattle. "They want to do a reunion trip," Emily continued. "All of us together touring Europe. Paris, Barcelona, Amsterdam, Prague. 3 weeks total." I felt my stomach tighten. 3 weeks. When next month? Jessica is moving to London for work in May, so this is probably our last chance to all be together before everyone gets too settled in their lives. She squeezed my hand. "I know the timing is not great with the wedding coming up, but this might be my last opportunity for something like this before we get married and start thinking about kids and mortgages and all that real adult stuff." I sat back in my chair, trying to process what she was saying. 3 weeks. 3 months before our wedding. Could you not go after the wedding? We have not even planned a honeymoon yet because of work. Emily shook her head. "Jessica needs to be in London by early May. And honestly, Abraham, this feels like something I need to do before I become a wife. One last adventure as just me, you know." The way she said it made me uncomfortable. "Just you" sounded like she wanted to be someone other than my fiancé for 3 weeks. But I did not want to be that guy, the controlling boyfriend who did not let his partner have friends or experiences. "What about your job?" I asked. Emily worked as a marketing manager at a tech startup downtown. "I already talked to my boss. I have the vacation days saved up. And the cost. We are splitting everything 4 ways. Airbnb apartments, train tickets, everything. It will be around $2,000 total. $2,000 3 months before a wedding." We had been saving every penny for the down payment on a house, but again I did not want to be the guy who made everything about money. I looked at her across the table. She looked hopeful but anxious, like she was waiting for me to say no, so she could resent me for it. I thought about all the times she had supported me. Last year, when I was working 70-hour weeks on the Henderson Tower project, she had brought me dinner at the office and never complained about me missing date nights. She had stood by me through my father's illness, through my career, uncertainties, through everything. "Okay," I heard myself say. "If this is important to you, then go." Her face lit up. "Really? You mean it?" "Yeah, you deserve it. Have fun with your friends." She jumped up from her seat and hugged me tight. "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I promise I will stay in touch. We will video call every night. It will be like I am not even gone." I hugged her back, pushing down the uncomfortable feeling in my gut that told me something about this was not right. That night I lay awake after Emily fell asleep beside me. I told myself I had done the right thing. I told myself that trust was the foundation of any good marriage. I told myself that 3 weeks would pass quickly, but that uncomfortable feeling would not go away. A week later, I drove Emily to the airport. She was buzzing with excitement, talking nonstop about the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower and all the museums they would visit. "We have such an amazing cultural itinerary planned," she said, scrolling through her phone. "This is going to be so good for my soul, you know. To see art and history and just disconnect from the stress of wedding planning." I kissed her goodbye at the departure gate. "Be safe. I love you. I love you too. 3 weeks will fly by. You will be so busy with work you will barely notice I am gone." I watched her disappear through security, her carry-on bag bouncing behind her. Then I drove home to our empty apartment and tried to believe that everything would be fine. The first 3 days went exactly as Emily had promised. She texted me photos constantly. The Eiffel Tower at sunset, a croissant and coffee at a sidewalk cafe. The 4 of them making silly faces in front of the Arc de Triomphe. We video called every evening. She would prop up her phone in their Airbnb and show me around the little apartment they had rented in the Marais district. She looked happy, relaxed, in a way I had not seen her in months. "Wedding planning was stressing me out more than I realized," she said on the 3rd night. "Being here just focusing on experiencing things instead of organizing seating charts and picking napkin colors, it feels like I can breathe again." "I am glad you are having fun," I said, and I meant it. Maybe this trip was exactly what she needed. But on the 4th day, things started to change. Her morning texts became shorter, the photos less frequent. When I texted her, "Good morning, how is Paris?" it would be 4 or 5 hours before she responded with something brief like, "Good busy day planned." On day 5, our evening video call lasted only 10 minutes. She looked tired, distracted. In the background, I could hear Lauren and Jessica laughing about something. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah, fine. Just exhausted. We have been walking like 10 miles a day. Are you having a good time, though?" "Of course. It is amazing. Listen, I should go. We have an early start tomorrow." The call ended. I sat on our couch staring at my phone, trying to shake the feeling that something had shifted. By day 7, the video calls had stopped entirely. Emily claimed the Wi-Fi at their new place in Barcelona was terrible. "I can barely load Instagram," she texted. "Let me just stick to messages for now, okay?" I tried to be understanding. I threw myself into work, into finalizing wedding details. Our photographer needed a deposit. The caterer wanted to confirm the menu. I handled it all alone, texting Emily updates that she responded to hours later with thumbs-up emojis. On day 8, I called her at 2 in the morning my time, which would have been 11 in the morning in Barcelona. No answer. She called back 3 hours later. "Sorry, we were at the Picasso Museum, and my phone was on silent." For 3 hours, Abraham, there is a lot to see. I cannot be on my phone the whole time. That defeats the purpose of being here. Her tone was defensive, sharp. We had never talked to each other like that before. "I am not trying to keep tabs on you," I said carefully. "I just miss you." Her voice softened. "I miss you too. I am sorry. I am just trying to be present, you know, to really experience this." We said goodbye. I told myself I was being paranoid. The second week got worse. I was scrolling through Instagram late one night when I saw a story posted by Lauren. It was a video taken at some nightclub in Barcelona. Strobe lights, loud music, people dancing. And there in the corner of the frame was Emily. She wore a short black cocktail dress I had never seen before. Her hair was down loose around her shoulders, and she was dancing close to a man I did not recognize. My heart started pounding. I watched the story 3 more times. The man was tall, dark hair, nice suit. He had his hand on the small of Emily's back. They were laughing together. I took a screenshot and texted Emily. "Saw Lauren's story. Looks like a fun night." 2 hours passed before she responded. "Oh yeah, we went out dancing. Just letting loose a bit." "Who were those guys in the video?" I tried to keep my message casual, not accusatory. "Just some locals we met at the club. Nothing weird. Nothing weird." The phrase sat wrong with me. Why would it be weird, unless there was something to be weird about? "You told me this was a cultural trip, museums and art and history." It is. We are allowed to have fun at night too, Abraham. What, I am supposed to sit in the apartment every evening, Her defensiveness was back stronger this time. I did not say that. I am just surprised. You did not mention going clubbing, because I knew you would react exactly like this. That hurt. I put my phone down and did not text back for the rest of the night. When I finally did the next morning, I kept it simple. Hope you have a good day. Love you. She responded 6 hours later. Love you too. The video calls never resumed. Every time I suggested it, she had an excuse. Too tired. Bad connection. Going out soon. Need to shower. I stopped asking after a while. Her texts became even more sporadic. Sometimes a full day would pass with just 1 or 2 messages. Having an amazing time. Barcelona is incredible. Miss you. Generic. Impersonal. Like she was texting an acquaintance, not her fiancé. I tried to focus on other things. Work. The gym. My brother David came over one evening to watch a basketball game. Jessica is moving to London for work in May, so this is probably our last chance to all be together before everyone gets too settled in their lives. She squeezed my hand. I know the timing is not great with the wedding coming up, but this might be my last opportunity for something like this before we get married and start thinking about kids and mortgages and all that real adult stuff. I sat back in my chair, trying to process what she was saying. 3 weeks. On day 18, 3 days before Emily was supposed to fly home, I got a message request on Instagram from an account with no profile picture and a string of random numbers for a username. The message read, "You should know what your fiancé is really doing in Europe." Attached was a photo. It was blurry, clearly taken from a distance. But I could make out Emily, standing on what looked like a bridge. Amsterdam may be based on the canal in the background. She was holding hands with a man. Tall, blonde hair, European-looking. My hands were shaking as I stared at the photo. This could not be real. This had to be fake. Some kind of sick joke. I sent the photo to Emily with just 3 words. What is this? 6 hours of silence. 6 hours of me pacing our apartment. My mind racing through every possible explanation. Maybe it was not her. Maybe it was taken out of context. Maybe. Finally, her response came. Abraham, you are being paranoid. That is Jessica's cousin. We ran into him in Amsterdam. Why are you holding his hand? I was not. We were just walking, and the angle makes it look weird. Then why did you not mention running into him? Because I knew you would react like this. There it was again, that phrase. Like I was the problem. Like my reaction to my fiancé holding hands with another man in Amsterdam was somehow unreasonable. Emily, what is going on? You have barely talked to me for 2 weeks. You are out clubbing with random men. Now this. Just tell me the truth. The truth is you do not trust me. The truth is I cannot even take a trip with my friends without you making it into some big drama. I read her message 3 times. She was turning this around on me, making me the villain. I did not respond. I put my phone on the kitchen counter and walked away. That night I could not sleep. I lay in our bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about deposits and venues and 100 invited guests and a wedding that was supposed to happen in 8 weeks. I thought about 6 years of my life. 6 years of building a relationship with someone who was now holding hands with strangers in Amsterdam and lying about it. The next afternoon my phone rang. It was a number I did not recognize, but it had a Seattle area code. I answered, Abraham. The voice was female, shaky. It is Stephanie, Emily's friend, the high school teacher, the one who had always been the quietest of the group. Hey Stephanie, what is up? I am calling because I cannot keep quiet anymore. She took a deep breath. You deserve to know the truth. My heart started pounding. What truth? This trip was never about a reunion. Well, maybe for me and Lauren, but not for Emily. She has been planning something else entirely. What are you talking about? Stephanie's voice cracked. They just walked beside me, and somehow that was exactly what I needed. At work, I threw myself into a new project. A firm in Seattle wanted to renovate an old warehouse into a mixed-use development, and they wanted fresh ideas. I volunteered to lead the design team. Working 70-hour weeks was not healthy, but it kept my mind occupied. People at the office knew the wedding had been called off. My boss, Margaret, pulled me aside one morning. "You doing all right, Abraham?" "Getting there." She has been messaging him. She told us she needed to see him one more time before she got married, to know if what she felt for him was still real, or if it was just nostalgia. "You are lying." My voice came out barely above a whisper. "I wish I was. Jessica and Lauren know. They have been helping her. They covered for her when she spent 5 days in Amsterdam with him instead of with us. I did not go to Amsterdam. I stayed in Prague because I wanted no part of this. But I have been watching you post about wedding planning on Facebook, and I could not let you marry her without knowing." My legs gave out. I sat down hard on the couch. "She spent 5 days with him." "Yes." She told us she was confused, that she needed to know if she still had feelings for him before committing to you forever. Stephanie was crying now. I told her it was wrong. I told her she should just break up with you if she was not sure. But she said she loved you, and she just needed to get Marco out of her system. Get him out of her system. I repeated the words hollow. "I am so sorry. You seem like a really good guy. You deserve better than this." After Stephanie hung up, I sat on the couch for a long time. Everything made sense now. The distance, the defensiveness, the lies, the hand-holding in Amsterdam was not Jessica's cousin. It was Marco, her ex-boyfriend, the man she needed to get out of her system before marrying me. I picked up my phone and called Emily. She answered on the third ring. "Hey, babe." Her voice was artificially cheerful. "What is up?" Stephanie called me. My voice was calm, deadly calm. Silence. Long, heavy silence. What did she say? Everything. About Marco, about Amsterdam, about you testing the waters before deciding if you actually want to marry me. More silence. "Emily, tell me the truth. Right now." "Okay." Her voice was small. "Okay. Yes, I saw Marco, but nothing happened, Abraham. I swear nothing physical happened. You spent 5 days with your ex-boyfriend, while I am here booking photographers and confirming guest counts and planning our wedding. And you lied to me every single day. I had to know. I had to know if what we have is real, if I am making the right choice." Something inside me broke. Not with a dramatic snap, but with a quiet, final certainty. "Did you sleep with him?" "No, Abraham, no. I just spent time with him. We talked. We walked around the city. That is all." You held his hand. "It did not mean anything. It meant you lied to me. It meant you chose to spend 5 days with another man instead of being honest with your fiancé." I stood up and walked to the window. "Do you know what I have been doing while you were getting him out of your system? I have been planning our entire wedding by myself. I paid the final deposit on the venue. I confirmed the menu with the caterer. I picked up my suit from the tailor. I have been building our future while you were deciding if you even wanted one with me. Please, Abraham, do not do this. I know what I want now. I know it is you. Being with Marco made me realize that what we have is real. You needed to be with another man to figure that out. I was confused. I am sorry. But now I am not confused anymore. I choose you." That phrase, "I choose you," like I was an option she was selecting from a menu, like she was doing me a favor. "Do not you ever wonder." Her voice got desperate. "Do not you ever think about what else is out there, about roads not taken?" "No." The word came out hard and certain.